I've got to be a pro bocce player. What the f*** is your problem? My confidence up. Yeah, cause life's so crazy and I've been feeling down, yeah, quite tough lately. But when I see my mom, yeah, she motivates me. Hanging out with my little bro, I tell them lately. Little bro, you grow so quick, so fast. Looking at you, I guess that time doesn't last. But little man, I can't wait for you to grow up. Got me up and up, cause I'm big good for mom. But I rode through the street, valley into the parks. Mom, good, even too far. Too far. Yeah, sorry, Seba. Went a bit paramount mode there. Went a bit too far. Got to show love to the things that I love, to the things that I love.
Hello all and welcome back to another episode of Road to the Draft. Too many to count now, but there was a slight interim there. We got busy, as we do, but we're back and that's what's important. And Hayden, we decided to reach out for some more talent considering we're creeping up to that draft. It's now, what, late August?
Yeah, it's late August. We're hitting the pointy end of the season now. We still don't know much about the draft, when it's going to be, how many are going to get taken, etc, etc. But we thought, you know, obviously there's more than just 7 blokes in WA who are in for this year's draft. So we thought we'd go and reach out to the other blokes, go out of our comfort zone and go to some blokes we haven't met before. And we're in a fucking cool bluff, Seba.
We had to travel quite far.
Yeah, place we haven't been before. Obviously, there's been further trips. I think Zane True to Midland, but yeah, and we've got a ruckman, a big guest, because he is physically our biggest guest. I mean, he's just off screen. I'll get you on, Kalin.
Oh, there he is, Kalin. It's like a tree trunk fell down.
As we said, biggest guest. How tall are you, Kalin?
205.
Jeez, that's about a ruler on me.
You know you could grow a little bit more. Still growing to do. Obviously, me and you, Hayden, we'll probably head up to that 200 centimetre mark soon, you'd expect. But Kalin probably hit that 230 by the end of the year, you'd expect. So.
Yeah, doctors always said I got one more growth spurt in me. Are you excited to be here, Kalin? Obviously, you've been about halfway through the season now. I'm sure you've been watching every episode. And like every young fella in the waffle right now, it's not so much the draft, it's getting on road to the draft. So that's one ticked off for the year, I imagine.
Yeah, excited to be here. Just trying to put out my best effort throughout the season and
get here. That's it. And obviously, the big part of the road to the draft, there's so much impacting one, but obviously the horse game. Have you practiced, well, the pig game we should say, the pig game right at the end, have you practiced much into your goal kicking at the moment?
Oh, I did come down here a few times during the week to sort of get a feel of the oval and how high the goals are, and had a few practices, but we'll have to see.
Really take that home ground advantage. Let's get into it, fellas. Alright, now we've spoken to a player in just about every position of this year's draft, but we're yet to come out here with a ruckman, so Seb and I obviously a bit undersized for the role, but we'd like to know a bit about the art of rucking, the science behind it. What goes on out there?
So you've got to know all your spots. So I've got 4 designated hit zones. Most ruckmen do. Mainly right-handed. There's one left-handed one that comes up rarely, but it's all about just getting your mids in, letting them know where you're hitting it, getting some chemistry going with your mids, and it's not the easiest art to perfect, but when you get up this high, it's a lot easier. So. Yeah.
It's an underrated skill.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That said,
it goes unnoticed a lot of the time.
I do fancy myself as a ruck. I like to think if I was 30 centimetres taller, I would have been a good shout.
We've learned a lot, Hayden. We've been getting around the mids, the likes of Zane True, Nathan O'Driscoll, to hone in our midfield skills. We've pulling our back, the likes of Daniel upgraded Preston, Logan Collins on board. But now it's time to get the ruck. Okay, because we're pretty much capitalising on all sorts of skill areas now. It's just a ruck.
We're almost the perfect player in this year's draft, so let's go out there and test our rucking skills.
The first zone that we're going to practice is a secret name I can't disclose because we don't want our opponents learning how we do things, but it's probably about at the 7 o'clock region, about halfway from the circle, and I usually try and jump up and go sort of into them and turn my body, so easy tap.
It's like Luke Shuey and Nick Nat.
From the centre bounces, you've always got another opponent coming at you pretty fast, so it's really important to get your knee up into them and sort of push off and try and keep them down. So I'll show you.
Here we go.
Oh! He's down. Lucky I was taking it easy on you that one. On the side. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, run straight out the centre.
Can't do nothing about that. Oh, I got my shin.
The ruck work done, obviously. You could see who was the best. As I said, I think if I had another 30 centimetres on me, you'd be in trouble. Seb's reeling a bit. You know, it's what happens when you mess with the best ever. Me and Kalin were the best ruck duo going if we get picked up. But onto the kicking now. You know, not a lot of ruckmen focus too much on the kicking, but obviously we know you're a special talent. And kicking is part of your game, taking it out the centre, running and kicking, blazing away. You're a fourth midfielder, so get into a bit of a kick to kick, and it's just a lead up. So it just sense the tension before the big game of pick.
It's coming. I might be laid out from the injury. Obviously, I had his dirty tactics, didn't go unnoticed there. You would have seen him. He's got some sort of metal rod in his shin of some sort, so I might be out. But anyone who's following and a big fan of Spash and Clark, I'll pull through for you.
Kalin's actually our second Claremont player, makes a really dangerous ruck centre duo with him and Joel Weston. We just got Claremont, I believe, in second, maybe even first for the Waffle leaderboard, so check them out for the rest of the year.
Tell you what, big game of pig coming up. Me and Hayden haven't won post-COVID yet, which is just, it's really hurt. It's really hurt the ego, but this bloke, it's going to be hard to beat. He's grown about 10 centimetres since we started recording, so no, he's going to, by this rate, he'll be about 300 centimetres by the time I'm finished.
Yeah, pretty poor skills down here. I have seen under 12s with better skills, and I'm pretty disappointed, if I'm honest.
This is what we came for. This is what we drove halfway across WA for, the game of pig. Hayden, we haven't won post-COVID yet. On debut, this bloke, so it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, this is definitely our chance, and we know that the first time on camera, it's rough. A lot of people succumb to the pressure. How are you feeling right now? Obviously, that camera's beaming on you. Are there any nerves at all?
There is a bit of pressure, but I mean, I've got nothing to lose. It's my first time, so may as well make a good impression.
Do it. All right.
Time. Pretty basic set shot. I say basic, it'll probably go out of bounds at the full, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Yeah, baby. Slots it. Still nothing, mate.
Let's go!
Test their distance here, so see if I can get onto it.
Sort of Robbie Gray pocket. Let's go from the line here. Oh no! Oh no!
Now it's pretty dewy today, pretty wet on the grass, so the dribbles aren't working, but I figure if I can luck one in, then I will. There's no luck about it, baby. There's no luck about it.
Oh no!
The other side.
Oh.
Oh, good.
Yeah!
Oh,
Come on!
jeez. It's time, baby. This is 8 months in the making. Has it gone in ever on camera? No. But this is the time. Oh, inches.
A couple times like Nathan O'Driscoll, but it is pretty dewy here, so I might just not want to curl, but I'm not even in the field of play, so we'll see how this goes. Come on! Oh! Oh! You don't mess with the dribble kick, baby. Let's go! That's 3-2 to me and Hayden now. The whole thing will stay now, thank God. And Hayden, it's looking like it's going to go pink at the moment because he's just absolutely no chance. That's a W. That's
absolutely fluked his way to a win there.
Should have bounced, should have bounced.
Yeah, look, Seb got lucky. It's about time. that he actually produced something. I was just trying to keep it interesting between us. Kalin, obviously, first time on the camera, got to you.
Does get to you. It really does.
We've seen a couple of flukes out there. The dribbles weren't hitting for you today.
No,
You're just going to have to go back to the drawing board, mate. Go back to the drawing board. Get out here more often. Get straight to the boundary. Don't worry about these set shots from 30 out, 40 out. Just get to the boundary. Start those dribbles.
If it's a kick you're having in a game, it's not a kick you want to practice, mate. It's as simple as that. So that is the game of pick done. That's the footy portions today done. We'll wrap things up, get into some questions, and wrap it up.
Game of pick done. I got the W, but we thought we'd have a nice little chat now. Take a little bit relaxed. It's a beautiful day, but we'll get into it. Now, you're a big ruckman, we know that, but there's so many different types of ruckman these days. There's the tap ruckman, there's ones that get around the ground a little bit more. Just tell us your style of footy and how you like to go about it.
Yeah, I always try to compete as well as I can up in the air. I mean, I've got a pretty decent lead for someone my size. And
not as good as me and Hayden's, unfortunately.
Oh, no, nowhere near it. But yeah, just trying to, I probably like to cover the ground a lot. I've been developing my physical game so I can sort of be a bit of an all-rounder, but yeah, it's definitely been mostly up in the air.
Yeah.
Now, you actually considered a big bolter in this year's draft. Obviously, you're a 2001 born, but you didn't get to get any Waffle Colts footy in your last year. You got an exhibition game in, but unfortunately, you had other things to focus on last year. What was going on last year that prevented you from focusing on footy?
I just sort of thought I was still in my last year of high school. I thought I'd just finish that off before I moved up to the Big Smoke. So, yeah, I was playing league footy with the Great Southern Footy League, which prepared me pretty well for college footy. So, yeah, I thought I'd just set it aside for one more year and then come at it real hard this year. So.
Now, obviously, not much of a mention about you prior to last year. You did get a call up to WA Academy, though. How did that come about, and what was that experience like?
It was a bit of a surprise to me. I played a expedition match with a bunch of the Waffle boys, and it was just to sort of select the hub players and get a few names out there from a regional perspective. And yeah, got the call, and I was really stoked about that. It's a great opportunity. It's really skyrocketed my recruitment and development.
Yep.
Yeah, and now, as we said, obviously you didn't get to get that Waffle season to last year. You've been managing to play all of this year. You were born late in the year in 2001, so you can get a full year of under 18s footy into you this year. How have you felt about your 2020, obviously your first experience in this sort of a league, and how do you feel about your skills compared to last year?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely improved since last year. I got a pretty good pre-season in, despite it being interrupted with the whole coronavirus. But yeah, just had to keep motivated, and I was training with the Talent Academy, which taught me a lot of new things. Claremont kept my fitness right up, so yeah, I've definitely improved a whole lot since last year.
Now, as Hayden said, you're a bit of a bolter. You didn't play Waffle this season last, but you made that WA Academy. Were you expecting it all to sort of hype around the media about you come this year?
Not exactly, but I mean, I knew that I wasn't very well known at the start of the year, so to come out and perform my best in round one was really important. So made sure I just gave it all, and yeah, I think everyone was a bit surprised with how I went. And they finally got to see what I'm all about. So.
Now, obviously, the year's a strange one to say the least. Corona's taken its toll, but you've been able to get out there, play some footy. What are your goals for the rest of the year?
I mean, playing such a good group of boys at Claremont. I mean, the flag's definitely a big goal of ours.
Back to back, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be real good to bring that one home, and it would really just set up a really good end of the season, and yeah, just make my opportunity as big as possible before the season's over, and then yeah, see how I go.
Well, it's been an absolute privilege to have you on, mate.
Yeah,
we really hope we can get you on later in the year, because you're an extreme talent. Just work on those short.
I'll definitely bring my A game next year.
If you ever find yourself in the forward pocket in a game, you know who to thank.
Yeah, I do.
Cheers for that, mate.